I think there'll be a deal done. I think as long as you see gradual progress, warm, fuzzy words, and good press releases every time they meet, the fact that they're meeting once a week now is a very good sign. I met with our trade team. They're very coherent. They all agree with each other. I didn't get any dissension inside the team. Of course, my old friend Peter Navarro wasn't at the lunch, but who is the dissenter. But I think they're going to get what they want. They're going to sell a bunch of stuff, which is what they want to do. That's easy. They're going to get IP.
That's the easiest part.
Yeah, IP protection is the most important thing for us. There's two parts of that. One is stop cheating. The other one is start enforcing some set of laws. They need laws passed. They're passing a law right now to do that. And unfortunately, the court system in China works where if there's a violation in Hangzhou, the local court in Hangzhou tries it, and the local court is influenced by the Hangzhou mayor. And so recently, Beijing has passed penalties on those mayors for doing that.
Okay.
So they're trying to figure out the enforcement.
We had a guest not a couple of weeks back from AEI who said he believed that we were going to get the deal, and for a year and a half, China was going to act differently, and we'd feel like we really won something, and then it was all just going to revert back into the same old, same old. Is this really going to transform the protections American companies can be granted for doing business in China and the trade relationship?
Well, there's three kind of protections. One is please stop stealing my stuff.
Right.
That part is a question of enforcement, and the Chinese government has to do that. The second part of it is will I be able to go there and have the market open? I think that's part of this agreement, and companies like Visa will benefit from that, or J.P. Morgan. That's definitely going to happen because they've already done it for the Swiss bank and for UBS. And then the third part of it has to do with whether long-term we actually cooperate in filing and enforcing new laws. That's very important because China's basic plan that we're whining about is they want to go from assembling iPhones to making high-margin tech things. You can't do that without intellectual property protection. So there's a huge lobby inside China to get IP protected. And so that's why this can be done, because
they can trust that this is real, then, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. It'll be real. And I think it's a big mistake to make any sort of blanket statements about the Chinese. You know, there aren't Chinese. There's 1.5 billion guys there. One of them is Mr. Xi. One of them is Liu He. Another one's Yi Gang. The wild card of this whole thing is the currency, because the currency dropping and a tariff going up wipe each other out in the U.S. So Chinese products in the U.S. today are not more expensive than they were before the tariffs came in.
That's an interesting point, and I also wonder, again, how long these tariffs stay on, and if tariffs start to go back on as part of enforcement, tactics. What should businesses and consumers here be expecting in terms of how long we're going to be dealing with these?
Well, I think if they go back on and these trade deals fail, we're dealing with them for a very long time. Now, the thing is, the Chinese currency is determined by capital flows, not by the trade balance. And when bad things happen to China, capital flows out of China and depresses the RMB. Now, the good news is our trade team knows that China has actually been propping the currency up, not pushing it down. And so what we should be doing is finding ways to help them prop it up by making their monetary policy better. The internal problem that's causing Chinese growth to fade is not tariffs. It's the fact that small businesses have been denied credit, working capital, because the shadow banking system got killed last year by the government, and there's no alternative to it. So until you can get real money in the hands of those private businesses, you can't get any real growth to happen.
Maybe with the help of the U.S.?
That could very well be.
All right.